It isn't just the lyrics, it's the beat. The music that they're planning to use to crumble the morals of America is this rotten, filthy, dirty, lewd, lascivious junk called rock and roll.
An hour of 60s underground music from around the world. Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Radio. Great 60s Garage Punk, freakbeat and psychedelia. Podcast via all good podcasting providers and facebook.com/Retrospect Garage Punk Radio.
It's mellow, it's raucous, it's tender, it's raw.
Hi 60s Garage fans, I'm Phil Gray. This is Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Radio Show and Podcast episode 598. And before we get into the music this week, I'm just going to throw it out there that Retrospect is available to sponsors. So if you're high up in the beverage industry or you're Elon Musk or whoever, and you want to reach a diverse and engaged audience of 60s music fans, you can contact me. phil.gray@freefm.org.nz or via the Retrospect Facebook page. So episode 598, on a little diversion this week, we are looking at a selection of psychedelic weirdness. And we're starting it off with a band called the Space Cadets. From the LP Acid Visions, the complete collection, this is Nothing'll Stand in My Way. It's Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show, psychedelic weirdness for this episode. Starting it off with the Space Cadets, Nothing'll Stand in My Way. That's actually from 1972, from that Acid Visions Complete Collection compilation. Also appeared on Acid Visions and an ELAP music comp called Trip to the Psychedelic World, Rare 60s Psychedelic Texas.
Millions of words have been written and spoken about it. Laws have been passed against it. Cults have sprung up around it.
Retrospect. Continuing our psychedelic weirdness with Baker Knight and the Nightmen. Baker Knight was Thomas Baker Knight Jr., American songwriter and musician. Wrote songs recorded by Ricky Nelson, Dean Martin, Paul McCartney, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Perry Como. You get the idea. But he also wrote psychedelic music for the West Coast pop art experimental band. This one is the B-side of a 1967 reprise 45. The A-side was I Feel Sick About the Whole Thing, but this is Hallucination.
Hallucination, hallucination, hallucination. I opened up my eyes and you appeared to be standing on a distant hillside calling me. Hasten to your side, although my heart is full of fear. I reach for you and then you disappear. Hallucinations, they are driving me insane. Hallucinations, something's pounding in my brain. Girl, I can't believe that you don't care.
Psychedelic, baby. That's what it's all about.
60s garage punk, garage rock, freakbeat, and psychedelia.
Sometimes I wonder if it's going up or down. Well, life's like a drawbridge and things are going around. Well, if it leaves you up there and no one you can see, so don't do it this way or you're gonna end up just like me. Better cross it in a hurry or you're gonna get caught in the change. Well, you think you're going someplace, but you'll end up somewhere strange. Well, if I made the drawbridge up in the world, I would be. But the bridge's overhead and it's falling down on me. Chains are drawn and for me it's goodbye. You better live your life before it's goodbye. You better cross coffee in the change. Well, you think you're going someplace, but you'll end up somewhere strange. Well, if I made the drawbridge up in the world, I would be. But the bridge is overhead and it's a falling down on me. Chains are drawn at the means goodbye. Better than your life before it's goodbye.
I've become a favorite topic of conversation almost everywhere. And the mere mention of my three-letter name is enough to send certain writers running to turn out sure-selling articles on how horrible I am. As publishers know, I'm good copy. And since there's so much information and misinformation about me, it's easy to keep the LSD pot boiling.
It's Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show as we explore the weirder end of 60s psychedelia. We had Baker Night and the Nightmares with Hallucinations, followed by Zone 5. From a 45 released on Caravan Records, pressed in a small town called Shinney in Pennsylvania, Zone 5, A-side of this 45 called I Cannot Lie, and thirdly in the set, a band called Sealing Smoke. Obscure, lifted from the Feeling High psychedelic sound of Memphis compilation, a track written by a guy called Paul Self. Paul Self was a radio jock in the 60s for a station called WMPS. So Baker Night, Zone 5, and Sealing Smoke with a track called Rubber Rapper.
Transportation to the fantastic and frightening territory of inner space, courtesy of the most powerful mind-altering drug ever discovered.
Retrospect. The Electras were out of Ely, Minnesota, formed 1962, recorded between 65 and 67, probably best known for the track Dirty Old Man. They also recorded under the name Twas Brillig, and as that band released a cover of Action Woman. This one, though, is a 45 from July 1966 on Scotty Records, The Electras, with This Week's Children.
Story of Monday's child and her Tuesday sister who drove me wild, and Wednesday's child looking so forlorn as she breaks your heart on a Wednesday morn. Now Monday's child is bare of face, and Tuesday's child is full of grace, and Wednesday's child, she's full of woe. No, Thursday's child has far to go, and Friday's child is a loving and giving, and like Saturday's child has to work for a living. But this week's children are evil, mean and cold. They're agents of the devil, and they want your very soul. Sunday's child in her Sunday best with a Sunday smile. Of this week's children, she is the best. But Sunday's child, are you like all the rest?
And turn on with Phil Gray's Retrospect, your number one source for 60s garage, freakbeat, and psychedelia.
Come on, all you women, listen to my plea. Come on, all you women, come and listen to me, yeah. All right. Well, I was born on a farm.
that a moral decay is spreading through our country and our society. This same type of rot and decay caused 16 of the 19 major civilizations to vanish from the earth, not because of the strength of the aggressor, but because of moral decay from within.
Retrospect, 60s garage punk, garage rock, and psychedelia.
Tools are machines that help us work. They push and pull and twist and jerk. Any monkey knows that we're no fools. He uses his tail, but we use tools.
Scissors are tools we use to cut fingernails, cutouts, and scallions. Scissors have 2 arms or blades, 2 legs or handles, and 1 belly button called a fulcrum. Hold your arms high over your head and jump with your arms and feet apart, then together, in time with the music. Do not move your belly button.
Another tool we use is a hammer. We use hammers to pound nails, crack nuts, and ruin furniture. Sit on the floor and hold out one arm, making a tight fist. This is your first hammer. Now pound the air with this hammer. Then pound with your other arm hammer. And then pound with one foot, and then with the other foot, and then with your head. And finally, pound with all of your hammers.
I saw one tool with many teeth and no mouth. It is called a saw. Let's hold the make-believe saw with one hand and hold the same arm with the other hand to make it stronger. Now lean way forward and push the saw ahead. Then lean way back and pull the saw back. Keep going with the music, and soon you will have cut the entire house in half.
A tool used for making holes is called a drill. A drill is usually made of metal and looks like a long stick with a spiral swirling around it. You be the drill. Stand in one spot and turn round and round, gradually bending your knees until your nose almost touches the floor. But be careful you don't drill a hole in the rug.
Now you invent the motion of some tools. You can push, pull, turn, lift, or squeeze.
Tools are machines that help us work. They push and pull and twist and jerk. Any monkey knows that we're no fools. He uses his tail, but we use tools.
Far side of your moon is black, and glorious grows the vine. Ask anything of me you lack, but only what is mine. Yours is the great wheel of the sun, and yours the unclouded sky. Then take my stars, take every one, but wear them openly, walking in splendor through the plain, for all the world to see. For none alive shall view again a match of you and me. Ask anything of me you lack, but only what is mine. Walking in splendor through the plain, for all the world to see. For none alive shall view again the match of you and me.
Well, that is a long set of psychedelic weirdness, which we kicked off with the Electra's This Week's Children. Followed it up with the Fabulous Apostles, who recorded for Shana Records, 1968 release, from a 45 of You Don't Know Like I Know, but we took the B-side Dark Horse Blues from the Fabulous Apostles. They're a band who in 1968 won the Battle of the Bands at Sioux Falls and had quite a career around local ballrooms of Wichita, Kansas. Then we had a band called the Chimps. You can see the album cover on our Insta and Facebook. The Chimps, I think quite obviously, were a cash-in band from an LP called Monkeys A Go-Go from 1967. They also had another 67 LP called Monkey Business, which contained songs such as I'm a Believer and Last Train to Clarksville. So a cash-in on the success of the other band, the Monkeys. But I chose the track Fifth Class Mail. It is a standout track from their releases. Far less Monkeys pop, far more psychedelic weirdness. Speaking of psychedelic weirdness, we followed that with Bruce Haak, Canadian musician and composer, mainly in electronic music. Became more notorious with the rise of interest in electronic music and synthesizers in the 60s. He was on TV, often, including playing the Dermatron, a touch and heat-sensitive synthesizer, on the foreheads of various TV guests. But from his 1969 album, called Electronic Record for Children, although billed as the Way Out Record for Children, Bruce Haak with a track called Tools. Then we had a band called The Fourth Way. 45 released in 1968 on Soul City Records on the Heavy Dose of Light Psych compilation, The Fourth Way, with The Far Side of Your Moon. Now it's even easier to get your weekly dose of 60s garage rock, garage punk, freakbeat and psychedelia. Simply ask your Spotify-enabled device to play you Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. Heading to the UK now for the band called The Voice. You can see them up on our Insta and Facebook as well. They recorded for Mercury Records, this one from April 1966. The Voice, also known as Carl Stewart and The Profiles, or sometimes just The Profile. Band members, perhaps not all of them, but several of them, were actually members of a religious cult called The Process, which had its headquarters in London. This is a cult who apparently both worshipped Christ and Satan. I don't know. The Process, or the Process Church, actually the full title, the Process Church of the Final Judgment. British religious group established 1966, disestablished sometime in the 70s, founded by an English couple who had met in the Church of Scientology in the early 60s, were ejected from that church in 1962, started a Scientology splinter group called Compulsions Analysis, which that evolved into the Process Church, which headquartered in London before relocating to Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and then New Orleans. Anyway, members of that cult formed this band, The Voice, who released this 45 in April 1966, The Voice, with Train to Disaster.
The world
the flames of the burning train. Destruction, fire, and searing pain. But you decide your fate. You can jump before it's too late. The world is on its way. Every passenger will pay. Sails on the train to disaster. The world is the train to disaster.
Well, I think it's pretty easy because, well, like this one last night, this one dude walked up and he just handed me some, you know? So I just went ahead and took it.
La route nous apporte le vent. Vous ne pouvez pas nous l'offrir. Il faut que nous soyons différents. Si nous ne voulons pas souffrir, nous portons de drôles de pantalons. Nous avons aussi les cheveux longs. Pourquoi copier sur tous les gens? Il faut que nous soyons différents. Nous sommes pas comme tous les garçons. Nous vivons comme nous l'entendons. Pour nous le plus bel âge est à 20 ans. À cet âge-là on n'est plus des enfants. Nous portons de drôles de pantalons. Nous avons aussi les cheveux longs. Pourquoi copier sur tous les gens? Il faut que nous soyons différents. La route nous apporte le vent. Vous ne pouvez pas nous l'offrir. Il faut que nous soyons différents. Si nous ne voulons pas souffrir, nous portons de drôles de pantalons. Nous avons aussi les cheveux longs. Pourquoi copier sur tous les gens? Il faut que nous soyons différents. Il faut que nous soyons différents. Il faut que nous soyons différents.
That's Canadian band Les Différences, recorded for Monde Records in 1966. They're from Chambly in Quebec. Les Différences with a track called Soyons Différents. Let's go global now with a band called the Blackjacks out of Hong Kong. I've selected a track called Mushroom Cloud, which is apparently the first anti-war song in the history of Hong Kong pop music. It was the B-side to their Today Tomorrow single, released 1968 on Columbia in Hong Kong. This is the Blackjacks.
See that plane flies high in the sky, doing a couple of thousand or more. A plane flies fast and a plane flies high. When it serves its purpose, friend, then you'll see a mushroom cloud stretches his hand. See him push the button yonder, aiming at the distant land. What will become of that certain piece of land? A mushroom cloud. Mushroom cloud. Why must people be forced to die? Why should they be unmercifully slaughtered under the screen of some conqueror's eyes? The horror of extinction of mankind by the mushroom cloud.
The head of a pin can hold enough of me to send a room full of people out of their minds. A dose for one? The point of a pin holds plenty for a solo trip. 20 doses can be put under a stamp. An eyedropper can contain enough for 10,000 doses. I'm measured in millionths of a gram, called micrograms or gammas. So tiny that even the precision laboratory scales like this can't begin to measure me accurately.
Retrospect, 60s garage punk, garage rock and psychedelia.
Quando la luna sorgerà e voi sarete immersi nel più profondo sonno, lui scoperchierà la sua bara e verrà fino a voi a succhiare il vostro sangue in una notte di vento gelido. Stringete forte la vostra donna, potrà essere la sua prossima vittima. Ballate, sarà l'ultimo ballo che farete. Morite, morite. Vieni, in questa direzione. No! No! Hai scelto me! No! No!
Man, it's a psych out. See the pleasure lovers who live it like it is, where it's at. Make the scene with the rebels, the hippies who think that flower power rules over everything and everybody. Psych out. Dick Clark presents the hallucinatory world of the flower children as they parade up and down the streets of San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury district. Psych Out was filmed entirely on location in hippie heaven. See the mind blowers in action. Watch the psychedelic dropouts as they psych out. Psych out. Psych out. You'll listen to the sound of green with the seeds in the strawberry alarm clock. Taste a moment of madness when you experience a psych out. With Susan Strasberg and Dean Stockwell in psychedelic color from American International. Psych Out.
Say to me, I love you, because it isn't always true. I think I love it. Then I'm psychotic reaction, psychotic reaction for you. With the girl I think you hold, I think I love it. My baby was a trust I said you hold, I think I lead it. Then I'm psychotic reaction, psychotic reaction for you.
And that is Global Psychedelia on this Psych Weirdness episode of Retrospect. Blackjack's out of Hong Kong with Mushroom Cloud, followed by Le Bisa, Italian band released on North Records 7-inch from 1967. Le Bisa, the A side of that 45, La Danza della Morte. And even without knowing Italian, I know that means the dance of death. Finally in the set, another one you can see on Insta and Facebook. The track is called Psychotic Reaction, not the Psychotic Reaction you may be familiar with. The name of the band, The Psychotic Reaction. German 7-inch 3-track EP released in 1968. The Psychotic Reaction. Psychotic Reaction's the first of the 3 tracks from this 3-track EP.
Hi, I'm Phil Gray, host of Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. It's a labour of love, and if you dig what I do, why not buy me a beer? Or just a coffee? You can do that now via buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Phil Gray. That's buymeacoffee.com/MrPhilGrey, Mr. Phil Gray. I may not be able to have a beer or coffee in person, but we can do it virtually. On with the show.
A place to turn.
Well, that brings us to the end of this Psych Weirdness episode. I'm going to remind you that many back episodes are available on all good podcasting platforms. If you have the ability to rate, review, subscribe, follow, please do so. Remember that shortened episodes of this podcast with added visuals are available on my YouTube channel. Just go on YouTube, search Retrospect Garage Punk, subscribe to my channel, like the videos, share the videos too. Every bit of exposure is good exposure. Wrapping things up with a track from the Fort Worth Teen Scene Volume 3 compilation, also released as a 7-inch 45 on Spotlight Records in 1967. The A-side of the record was Rosie. This is the B-side. It is called Half Peeled Banana. The band is Chocolate Mousse, sounding in parts like a frat rock band, in other parts somewhat like the Velvet Underground. Chocolate Mousse, Half Peeled Banana. That's it for this week's episode. I'm Phil Gray. Thanks for joining me here on Retrospect 60's Garage Punk Show. Connect with Retrospect. Retrospect Garage Punk Radio on Facebook and Retrospect 60s Garage Punk on Instagram. And for back episodes, find Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and lots more great podcasting platforms.
Am I supposed to be a big fan? It's fine, but it's really not appropriate.